everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Lexy.
I'm Defne. We are your LadyBloggers. Today we are doing an analysis of Strike Back, our season 4 finale.
As you can tell, we are wearing black because we are mourning. We are mourning the loss of the Miraculous. We are mourning the fact that season 4 is officially over.
In the arms of the angel, fly.
We are just going to be giving our thoughts about Strike Back.
Analyzing, theorizing.
I never would have expected this was gonna happen. Like when season 4, episode 1, Truth, right? Yeah. I was like, you know how we kept on saying when we would like watch the episode and like go live and we'd be like, I can tell you what comes next. Like we'd sit on there and live and be like, I can't imagine like what's gonna happen next. Like,
have you ever had a dream that you do
like every single episode? It's like it throws me on a loop.
Right. And this just adds to the.
And this was it, because it's like everything that has basically happened this season for the most part is like,
right,
we're worse than how we started off. They were talking about risks, and they were like, well, you don't take risks. And Ladybug was like, I do take risks. And he was like, well, you don't take the risk to learn who's behind the mask. And she was like, that's because of Cat Blanc.
Right.
When I saw like Cat Blanc pop up on the screen, jump scare. Is she ever gonna tell him? Like, Marinette girl, bestie.
See, I was hoping for like a Lady Noir talk. It was more like a Lady Noir silent.
When Cat Blanc showed up, it was again like a reminder of this is why Marinette is so hesitant to open up to Cat Noir.
And as close as Marinette is to Alia, she has never opened up to Alia about Cat Blanc. That is something that she's dealing with completely alone. She might think, if I tell him, he'll think it's all his fault.
Yeah.
But like, she doesn't know how he actually got akumatized. He doesn't know how he actually got akumatized, so.
She thinks like, oh, it's just because they knew their identities and because love did this to the world or whatever.
Right.
So she knows like if I tell Cat Noir, like one's gonna feel awful about getting akumatized. The writer's just reminding us like this is why we can't have an identity reveal, because she thinks that when this happens, it's gonna cause the end of the world.
So that one scene in Strike Back when they send the Strike Backs to the sun, Felix is watching this entire thing go down and he turns away. He's like, I'm sorry. Now, at first it's like, oh, maybe he's apologizing to Ladybug for betraying her. But then it's like...
No, he would never apologize to her.
Literally.
No.
But he's also watching like sentis, his own kind, being sent to like...
the sun.
Or like, yeah, an eternal sun vacation.
I think for Felix, it was like a moment of like, they don't see senti-monsters or senti-beings as, you know, living beings. Ladybug and the rest of the heroes, like, they're obviously not going to look at Strike Back and be like, oh my gosh, like it has feelings, versus like a senti-monster, like for example, Adrian, who is a senti-monster, right? Like it's very, I feel like to them it's very different, but to Felix, it's like, these are like, this is what I am. Like, is this how people view me? Like, is this how people would view me?
What makes a senti valuable or worthy enough to be kept alive versus be sent to the sun? Do we feel remorse? Do we feel guilty? Do we feel like, how do we reflect on that?
Yeah. And it's like I said, like I doubt Ladybug or any of the other heroes like know much about sentis. Obviously Felix does because he's been studying this shit. I'm really interested to see if one day we get to see Adrian's like thought process on being a senti.
In a moment, it seemed like Gabriel was just being very selfish. Like he had the opportunity to get every Miraculous, so he was kind of just grabbing them, you know?
Another one, thank you. Like, he's gonna have all of them except for the ones that he wants. So,
well, he did say this is not going to stop until someone brings me Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous, which to me is interesting because I'm like, well, we're assuming that now that he's back to Hawkmoth, he'll continue doing whatever he was doing before, like akumatizing villains. Oh my god, what if that's kind of like a low-key call and to like attract like people like Lila?
Bad people. Because you know who, like, all the bad people that we've seen, like, that are like, I guess, like villains would show up instantly to like get their Miraculous.
Alia giving up her Miraculous, I think, was just for the plot of Gabriel acquiring
Gabriel gets all of them.
You know, at the end, remember when we had like certain scenes of like the classmates, including Suhan, Luca, and Alia being like the first ones to try to do whatever they can to help Ladybug and Cat Noir, because this can't be a two-person effort. Like Ladybug and Cat Noir, they've held off all of these villains, but I mean, this is taking it to a whole new level.
Luca finding out their identities for a reason. And for the most part, like, he served a purpose in Ephemeral, so I'm like, okay, he has to like play a role in season 5. And like, he doesn't have the Miraculous, so it's like, you know, Sass can't like just go and undo everything. Alia knows Ladybug's identity, but like, she also doesn't have her Miraculous.
Strike Back needs to be the final, like the end all be all, this stop, like the full stop to all of this Alia fandom. Like, I'm over it. I never want to see it again. There's no need for it.
They're kind of stuck right now. And the thing is, Gabriel has the Bunny Miraculous. Why hasn't Bunny shown up? Like, why didn't Alex get her Miraculous? Like, this could have just been all undone. Bunnix only shows up when like there is no other option. Things cannot get worse. Like, she needs to show up, but she hasn't. So it's like, clearly nothing too horrible can happen. And the other thing is, it's like everything happens for a reason. So if these events that are happening lead up to Alex getting her Miraculous, then obviously Bunnix isn't going to go and like reverse everything.
Neither Ladybug nor Cat Noir know that Felix has the Peacock Miraculous. What's with that?
So I feel like Shadow Moth is going to go back to Hawkmoth and they're going to be like, what? In the very beginning, like, okay, they knew that the Peacock was lost from the Miracle Box and the Butterfly Miraculous. Mm-hmm. So now it's like literally the same, we're literally at the same exact place and worse.
Now that Ladybug lost all of the Miraculous, is she even Guardian? Like, what's
that's the other thing. Like, is she gonna lose her memory? Because they showed Suhan for a reason.
I mean, she didn't lose her memory when Gabriel grabbed all the Miraculous, but how she has to give up that title, right?
She has to give. I feel like she has to give up the title because she's still the Guardian. Like the box is like the Miracle Box is like the Ladybug thing. Like she will lose her memories the second she renounces it.
Suhan thing. I mean, what's he gonna do? Pressure her to probably give up her Miraculous and or give up Cat Noir's Miraculous as well? Because that's what he was there last time to do.
Literally, that's like his Suhan's purpose was to like, okay, originally he showed up and he was like, okay, give me back the Miraculous, give me back the box. And then he was like, in Ephemeral, he was like, you have to know his identity, like blah, 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 blah.
I like the parallels that we saw, like at the ending scene where Hawkmoth, he's surrounded by all of like the Miraculous icons, but you can see his head and it's very, very like reminiscent of season 1 Origins when he's like made out of butterflies and it's the Hawkmoth head talking to all the Parisians, which is exactly what's happening again at the end of season 4. I mean, we could talk about Felix with the Peacock Miraculous. That's completely new. I mean, he's been trying, he knows about the Miraculous. He's been trying his like way to get into, to hold some power as it relates to magic. I will say I was taken off guard by the fact that he was willing to trade the ring that he took from Gabriel in exchange for the Peacock Miraculous, because I don't know, part of me was like, you know, maybe he'll help his brother. and get that second ring. But
help his senti cousins,
senti twin flames.
Senti twin flames. He was like, oh, I won't be needing this anymore, so we can switch. Then I'm like, okay, but then why do you need specifically the Peacock Miraculous?
I feel like he has his own agenda. He took that ring so that at some point in the future, he could use it as leverage to make whatever exchange that he needed. And in this case, it's getting the Peacock Miraculous, to which I'm like, has Felix met his final goal? There's so many just ends, or like not even ends.
Loose ends that haven't even been tied up. Like what is he literally? What is he gonna do? Like, what can he do? Like,
I just want to know, does Felix want that Peacock Miraculous for security, or does he plan on using it?
We know there's a hawk moth of the future. And so I even thought, like, last Attack of Shadow Moth, I was thinking maybe Felix will get his hands on the Butterfly Miraculous, but no.
Gabriel with the Butterfly Miraculous. I mean, he's always had this Butterfly Miraculous, but now it seems like we're back to seasons 1 through 3. It seems like Gabriel is after the same thing, made that very clear at the end, where he was, someone brings me Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculous.
That's all he wants, and yet he still hasn't been able to achieve it. So he's like, okay, I have all these Miraculous, but like I still want them. So I'm just like, you still haven't won. Like, he hasn't won, but Ladybug, he's also kind of lost. Unfortunately for Ladybug, it all, like, everything happened at once. Her finding out that she gave a Miraculous to Felix, and Felix taking away her, or like fetching her yo-yo, that all happened simultaneously. So it was very much overwhelming for her, and you could tell it was overwhelming for her because she was having a panic attack. She was having a panic attack. She's like, what? And unfortunately for her, she didn't de-transform as fast as she could have. Again, she's having a panic attack, so there's no need to blame her. And by the time she did de-transform, like, unfortunately, she realized that all the Miraculous were gone. All of them.
Isn't Gabriel in possession of the grimoire? So he can read about all of the Miraculous, and I'm sure he has extensive knowledge about them. Again, we're most worried about the Bunny Miraculous because it seems like he can make the most potential damage using the said Bunny Miraculous. I just don't know how I feel about like having the right, like, back to old Hawkmoth, because Gabriel was never successful as Hawkmoth. Yes, he has all of these new Miraculous, but is that ever going to be enough to outdo Lady Noir is what I want to know.
I don't think so. And you know what? I just find it so funny that this is like the one time that Gabriel has like an actual, I guess, like win, I guess. And it's literally not even because of anything he did, it's because of Felix. And speaking of Lady Noir, that Lady Noir scene at the end. You know, all this Lady Noir angst led up to that moment. You're back to the duo. I know Cat Noir was like low-key happy. He was like, no more heroes. It's back to just them. And we have a Lady Noir scene again in the rain. Ladybug blushing at Cat Noir. They have a very, very, very emotional hug.
We do hear a clap of thunder in the background.
We know Marinette falls in love when she hears that clap of thunder. The biggest scene where we see this is the umbrella scene, where she looks at Adrian, clap of thunder.
Yeah.
And then in Ephemeral, we see Ladybug fall for Cat Noir, same, with the little mini umbrella scene. We hear the clap of thunder.
Mm-hmm.
With this ending Lady Noir scene, which we didn't hear this when we first watched the episode, so it's not in our reaction. That's why you see me so calm, because if I would have heard it, I would have literally screamed. We hear that clap of thunder, and I'm just like, is this actually happening? Like, is this what I think is happening? Because we know when we hear that clap of thunder, it's like
someone's falling in love.
Someone's falling in love.
Seeing like them falling in love with like the other side or their alter egos. It's like love.
Like, what?
But
But we'll get into that more in another video. And the people of Paris are, you know, supporting them. Like, I'm glad that at least the people of Paris have their backs. Again, it's kind of reminds me of Heroes Day, when they like all came out to like help fight the villain. Like, what is there left?
I don't know.
And Lila?
And Lila.
We hope you guys enjoyed our analysis, like our talk, immediate thoughts about Strike Back. Oh, stay tuned for our upcoming videos. We are really going to try to post content throughout this whole entire hiatus and to keep you guys updated. Season 5, Awakening movies, specials, whatever it is, we got you. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you turn on those post notifications and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye bye, little butterfly.
No.
Like,